Welcome to On Point at the Noosa Festival of Surfing, and we made it, baby. It is finals day. It's here, finals of all age, open and pro divisions taking to the water. It's going to be an absolutely stellar day of world-class longboarding from some of the finest that we see here at the festival each and every year. We're really looking forward to it. Let's look into the show. It has been an absolutely outstanding week of world-class performances. Here's some of the action. So with finals day still coming up, we're looking back at a fantastic week of the festival. Of course, it's the 31st anniversary of the Noosa Festival of Surfing, but we also like to remember and pay tribute to those that came before us. Young Hayden Kenny first rode a surfboard on Noosa's points in 1957. He's thought to be the first. Later, he became Australian's first Ironman champion and one of our leading surfboard builders.
Well, I surfed on my own for pretty much 4 years. There was a couple of guys in Noosa Surf Club, but they didn't have this sort of board, so and I'd even give them a go on it, you know, when I'd had enough, when I couldn't really scratch myself. But the first time we were surfing there, when someone else came along, I think it was Bob Cooper, and we just looked in amazement, like, who are these? Who are these strangers? What are they doing here? I look back on it today and realised that I didn't really understand what I was experiencing to its fullest extent then.
I mean, it was 60s Australia. It was just laid back and nothing around and simple and complex, and it was heaven.
McTavish and friends like Nat Young and Russell Hughes put Noosa on the map in the 1960s.
The first time I came to surf Noosa was in late 1959 or early 1960, I'm not sure, but it was December or January, with this old couple, Ma and Pa Bendel. Pa was a World War II fighter pilot from Canada, but he took up surfing when he was about 40, 45, and we went, who's this really old dude, you know? Anyway, he brought me up here one day, and we pulled into the car park up there, and the surf club then was a tin shed. There was hardly, just a few old houses along the beach. I went out on my 8'3" balsa board, and Ma and Pa went out on their foam boards. At one point that day, Pa and I paddled out the national park and got a beautiful wave all the way down through Johnson's, and as I was paddling back out, admiring this beautiful headland with not a soul around, I remember feeling a bit lonely. I actually wish there were a few other people around, can you imagine? But now, it's still heaven. Nothing's changed except the coffee's got better and the crowds have got far, far bigger.
The festival doesn't just happen for 1 week every year. It's a constant machine that runs all the way through the year. And the man that runs that machine, the key to the engine, is Mr. Josh Allen. Josh is joining us here. Josh, tell us about what happens all through the year for the festival.
Mate, I guess what you're experiencing for the past week is about 7 months of hard work behind the scenes. Everything from site plans to get passed with council, liaising with sponsors, liaising with the surfers. Obviously the festival wouldn't happen without the competitors. But yeah, it's a lot of work, a lot of blood, sweat and tears and personal passion goes into this event, and to see it all happening and smiling faces, it's an amazing achievement, for me personally, but I don't do it for myself, I do it for everyone that comes here and enjoys it.
Now, of course, Phil Jarrett, as everybody knows, is one of the founders of the festival and running it for many, many years with his family, Sam and Ellie. And you took over a couple of years ago on the back of World Surfaris as well, who joined us as the premium sponsor and also the organiser of the event. Tell us about what that was like and the boots you had to fill from the Jarrett family.
Yeah, very big boots. Got a lot of respect for Phil and his daughters and what they managed to achieve over several decades. But I took it all in my stride. I wanted to continue the legacy of this great festival, and have got some help along the way from Phil. And I hope he's proud of what I've created, and I'm looking to continue that legacy long into the future.
And of course, I know you in particular are incredibly grateful to our many sponsors.
I am, Thomas. These events, they're not cheap. It takes a lot of time, money and effort to put them on. Very grateful to TEQ Queensland. It's live. We had the great pleasure of having the Minister for Tourism, Sterling Hinchcliffe, here to officially open the festival on last Saturday. Tourism Noosa have chipped in, and of course GemLife. Greg Pearcey from GemLife is just such a gentleman, and he was a smaller sponsor last year, still fairly major, but he is presenting this year. So yeah. GemLife are wonderful. The accommodation partners, Soul Bar, all the other people, the media, Panga Productions, various artists, Wayne McFetries. I mean, the list's too big for an old bloke like me to remember, but it's on the back of the program, and each of every one of them, just a heartfelt thanks for participating.
Well, I would personally like to thank you for some unknown reason inviting me back again. It's such a thrill to be part of the festival again, and we look forward to World Surfaris being behind another wonderful Noosa Festival of Surfing in 2023. So that was On Point at the Noosa Festival, proudly brought to you by GemLife, the presenters of the 2022 Noosa Festival of Surfing. I'm Tommy Alexander. Thanks for joining me.